Former President Donald Trump has officially reacted to the news that a grand jury investigating these hush money payments his organization made to Stormy Daniels through Michael Cohen voted to indict him. So look, a lot of the details are not necessarily known about, what exactly the charges are, because the indictment is sealed. However, CNN law enforcement analyst John Miller claimed that the indictment involves around 34 counts of falsification of business records and things related to that. So again, we don't know the details, but there are 34 charges. That's a lot. As such, Trump would have to surrender to the DA's office, taken up to the detective squad, fingerprinted, photographed for a mugshot. Yes, there's a mugshot. And then, of course, it'll likely be released under his own recognizance. So there will be a mugshot. Great. Will there be handcuffs? I don't know. Honestly, when it comes to powerful people, I wouldn't expect it. And I do notice that unlike the average person, people who are powerful who end up who end up actually getting handcuffs and arrested, they get to hold their handcuffs in front of them instead of behind them. Interesting. Two-tier justice system, everybody. All right, so look, Trump is furious. Okay. The walls at Mar-a-Lago likely covered in ketchup and broken flatware. But let me get into his statements because they're fun. All right. Here's the first one. These thugs and radical left monsters have just indicated the 45th president of the United States of America and the leading Republican candidate by far for the 2024 nomination for president. This is an attack on our country, the likes of which has never been seen before. It is likewise a continuing attack on our once free and fair elections. The USA is now a third world nation, a nation in serious decline. So sad. He's been indicated, everybody. Indicated.
I know words. I have the best words.
He's got the best words, so don't make fun of him for that, okay? If he says he's indicated, then God damn it, he's been indicated. Okay, but so look, let me get to the substance here, okay? A president being held accountable for alleged crimes, okay? And by the way, it's going to go through the process, and this doesn't mean that he is going to be convicted, but it is going through the process. So now, going through this process for, again, an alleged crime is, in his words, an attack on the country, the likes of which we have never seen before. Bro, did you forget about 9/11? That was an attack. Did you forget about Pearl Harbor? Worse than the British burning Washington, D.C.? Really? Come on, guys. Really? Really? All right, but let's look at what the alleged crimes are. So now, look, according to court filings in Michael Cohen's own federal prosecution, Trump Organization executives authorized, and by the way, that includes him, Trump, they authorized payments to Michael Cohen totaling about $420,000 to cover a $130,000 payment to Stephanie Clifford, a.k.a. Stormy Daniels, as well as Karen McDougal. So those payments, plus some tax liabilities, plus a bonus. Because you got to put a little bit of sugar on top. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're going to do some crime for me. Don't worry about it. I'll throw in a bonus. Bonus for extra crime. Little crime on top. With the cherry. Now, look, here's the thing, though. I keep saying crime, but wait. Paying hush money isn't a crime. Well, no, it isn't. It isn't. I mean, look, you have NDAs. You have contracts. The hush money payments in this case, they are mutually agreed on by both parties. Hey, I will give you money if you don't go to the press and tell something that is potentially embarrassing about me. Okay. So it's not necessarily the fact that it is a hush money payment that is the problem. At issue in New York is the falsification of business records in the Trump organization. Now, the Trump organization had noted these reimbursements as a legal expense in their books, legal expenses to Michael Cohen. But wait a minute, it's not a legal expense. It's a reimbursement for a hush money payment. It doesn't have anything to do with his legal situation. So that would appear to be a falsification, a lie, which, again, it technically is illegal. Now, that said, does anybody really care that he paid off a porn star to cover up his own affair? No, it's his personal stuff. I don't give a crap. It doesn't matter. But what does matter is the way that he's alleged to have done it. The timing of this, ordering Michael Cohen, his fixer, to make these payments, reimbursing him, and then falsifying these records. Under New York law, doing this, again, normally, if you falsify business records in New York, that's a misdemeanor. What elevates this to a possible felony offense is when business records are falsified where there's an intent to defraud and includes an intent to commit another crime or to aid or conceal the commission thereof. Okay, so again, for it to be a felony, there has to be the intent to defraud or commit another crime. Otherwise, this would just be a misdemeanor. Okay, so now when Cohen comes into it, okay, for good or ill, right? So his testimony was pretty important. Now, that said, is Cohen a very trustworthy figure? No. And I've said that before, okay? That said, we do have, there is audio of Cohen and Trump discussing this payment, so there's no doubt that it was actually made. And of course, the purpose of the payment, I believe, was most likely meant to conceal the affair because of politics, because the potential of it hurting his political campaign. Now, Trump's lawyers are saying, oh, no, would have hurt his reputation regardless, and so it doesn't really matter. He'd have done it anyway. Okay, but he did it right before an election, right before, this could be a potential political scandal. So knowing that and going, there's a political scandal. Why don't we get ahead of this and actually, refute the story, play down the story, whatever. No, instead he went, hush money, hush money, hush money, pay you, and then we're going to lie about it. Now, again, that if that's the case, or I should say if they can prove that in the court, and the fact that the grand jury voted to indict means that they believe they have a good case. Okay. That said, it could violate other state or federal election laws on transparency and campaign finance. But once again, this is a little bit of a shaky foundation for this case because they have to figure out which to apply. And so that said, to summarize the legal theory that's at play, in the state of New York, falsifying business records by lying about the payments to Michael Cohen about the purpose, and in the furtherance of another crime, illegal contributions to Trump's campaign, because from the Trump organization, because it effectively is a campaign contribution. That is why Trump has been indicted. I have to note that lying about those payments as well was one of the reasons that Michael Cohen went to prison. The politics and the gray areas surrounding this is why Trump did not join him in prison, despite, of course, ordering this to happen. That said, I have more statements here. Let's go to those. The Democrats have lied, cheated, and stolen in their obsession with trying to get Trump. But now they've done the unthinkable. Our movement and our party, united and strong, will first defeat Alvin Bragg. Wait a minute, Alvin Bragg? What does he mean by defeat Alvin Bragg? Like, okay, if a Trump-related person wants to run, to be in that to be DA. Okay, well, that's one thing, I guess. Ain't gonna work. But I don't know how else. Defeat the charges? Okay, that's possible. And then says, and then we will defeat Joe Biden, and we're going to throw every last one of the crooked Democrats out of office so we can make America great again. That's not all. He also took to his, well,
Truth essential.
and posted very long, detailed legal screeds about why he believes that he is innocent. No, just kidding. He posted, "Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter?" I don't know, man. Where is Hunter? Not sure, but he's probably having a better day than you are. Now, that said, look, there's nothing here in this case that prevents Donald Trump from running and winning the Republican nomination. I mean, again, if you look at the politics, it probably will help him with the base. Let's be honest. But that said, am I interested in the politics? A little bit. But at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to law. Again, at the end of the day, this doesn't mean that Donald Trump will be found guilty. There are ways that he can get out of this. In fact, there are attorneys out there who are no fans of Donald Trump that think, it's just a weak case. And they could be correct. Let me share that perspective. Randy Zellin, an adjunct professor at Cornell Law, who practiced criminal defense for 32 years and worked as a prosecutor for 3 prior to that, told Rolling Stone that, quote, "I do not believe, based upon what we know, that the felony charge will stick." Now, I think that qualifier is pretty important because right now the indictments are sealed. So we don't necessarily know what the charges are. But yeah, he goes on to explain that what you need to do to elevate the misdemeanor, falsification of business records, to a felony simply is this: show that the act of falsifying the business records was done in furtherance of another felony, another crime. But it would have to be a New York State crime. The fact that what other alleged campaign finance misconduct took place involved a federal election, which means that it's very iffy that prosecutors could actually operate on this legal theory. Interesting. Now, another New York defense attorney, Peter Brill, said that on the one hand, the facts seem fairly damning, but the foundation that they are built on is weaker than I would hope for in the first criminal indictment or criminal charge against Trump. Interesting. So, look, to me, a better case would be the one in Georgia, where he did election interference by telling election officials to find him votes. The very perfect phone call. And the other one, of course, does concern Mar-a-Lago documents. And this case also tests some legal theories, which could, again, complicate things. And look, to be fair, would they be testing these theories if it wasn't on someone like Trump? That's a fair question. Again, I have no doubt that he knew about the payment, ordered the payment, didn't care whether or not this payment broke the law. At the very least, it would be normally a misdemeanor crime, which is a crime. And then again, ordered it to be covered up. But I think what's most interesting here is the question of if prosecutors will be able to prove this legal theory, and, you know, the legal theory that this is a clear violation of campaign finance law. And I'm not sure how that's gonna play out. But it looks like we are going forward to with this.